I rewatched it kind of to remind myself like what I talked about in the second trimester, and I was like, yep, you don't need to do that. Oh, didn't do that. That was super helpful. So I figured I would do a recap because I've learned that it's really good to get advice about pregnancy and motherhood from like somebody who's already been through it instead of my pregnant self being like, this is so helpful, and then like never using it. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I talk about motherhood, I talk about pregnancy. We do things pretty naturally, granola, hippie, all of those things. If you're into that, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, hey. I also am on Instagram, so if you want to check out stories, I'm over on stories like every day. Everything is Hey Shayla. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, my website, all the things. And then I just started a podcast this year where I interview like all the people that I know and love and that have guided me along this motherhood journey, who also happen to be experts in their field, so it's pretty great. Today, I'm a little bit nasally. I'll try not to sound super nasally. I got a baby here. She's yelling in the background. Yeah, let's get started. So today's video, I'm going to re-watch a video that I made in my second trimester of my first pregnancy. Today is the last day of my second trimester of my second pregnancy. So it means I'm 27 weeks, almost 28 weeks. I rewatched this, so this video's got a ton of views, and I rewatched it kind of to remind myself like what I talked about in the second trimester, and I was like, yep, you don't need to do that. Oh, didn't do that. That was super helpful. So I'm gonna watch this, I'm gonna watch it with you. I've only made one other video like this. So there are 18 things that I go over that are practical second trimester. I'm adding another one, so 19. When you become pregnant or you have a baby, you start to look at the things in your house and you're like, do I want to replace that and get like, for example, deodorant. You've got your deodorant, you've got breastfeeding, it's all in the same area, so I was like, I maybe don't want aluminum deodorant, so I switched to Native. This was an easy yes as far as a collaboration. This video is sponsored by Native. Oops. I've been using Native for years. Some things cannot combat the post-pregnancy BO. Apparently it helps baby to find your boob. It's a very real thing. These are the 3 scents that I've tried. The one that I use religiously is cucumber mint. Cucumber mint is just fresh. It's real nice. Then I tried eucalyptus mint. This is like, you're at the spa. Then I got citrus and herbal musk. So they're aluminum-free, paraben-free, cruelty-free, vegan, all of the great things that you want in and around your armpits when you're breastfeeding. Ingredients in this thing are like shea butter and coconut oil. And then they also have things like body wash and toothpaste. So if you're looking to swap out some products while you're pregnant and then once you have the baby, use the code Shayla, S-H-A-Y-L-A. You can get a deodorant pack of 3. Normally it's $39, but you can get it for $26, which is like 33% off, or you can use the code and get 20% off anything else. All right, let's get to the video. This week I want to talk about the second trimester. I'm like halfway through my second trimester, I think. I wrote down 18 things that you should know. So I'm just gonna wham bam, rapid fire them. Get yourself some new underwear. I just did this. I just bought some new underwear. Laser cut is the way to go for not cutting into you because you're getting wider. You're growing a human, plus you're growing the fat that supports that human. There's a lot of growing going on. Just buy yourself some new underwear. It's the most uncomfortable feeling to not feel comfortable in your underwear. Even though they're a size or 2 bigger than you normally wear, who cares? I look okay in underwear again. Do yourself a favor. Number 2, get yourself some panty liners. Panty liners. Apparently this was not a common thing. People are like, why do you need panty liners? And I had friends that are like, I don't get it. You have a lot of mucus and discharge going on. Apparently they're linked. Like the same thing that why you get nasally, it's the same thing, discharge. So just do some panty liners, or maybe you're not gonna have this problem. So wait to buy them. Okay, moisturizer for your body. You need to start before you need to start. I did not get stretch marks on my belly. I did moisturize pretty frequently. I'll show you with these products. I also stayed super hydrated. But I also have a very long torso, and I think that that played a huge role in it because I never got ginormous. I gained 40 pounds through my pregnancy, and I think just staying active and my body type and the genetics of your skin. So like lotion is helpful, I think, just in general, but it also might be out of your control. The woman I used to nanny for gave it to me used. She's like, no, I'm not gonna wait for you to go to Target, just take this. I don't know where to put it. I'm like, well, where am I gonna get stretch marks like right in front of my, should I put it on my love handles? My boobs are getting big. So I just put it everywhere, all the time. The boobs getting bigger is a real thing. After you have your baby, your boobs get ginormous because they fill up with milk. Then through breastfeeding, they're pretty big. You wean, they go back to pancakes. Now I'm getting my boobs back, my pregnancy boobs back. This is another one. Earth Mama has this like belly butter. Number 5, there's something called perineum stretching. I still don't know how to pronounce that. I'm still gonna let you Google it. Basically, you work on stretching the area that the baby comes out of. I didn't do it. I was pretty like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Didn't do it. My midwife was like, a warm compress during labor, if your midwife or doctor is down with that, or your partner, or like a water birth, that can help. Also, not aggressively pushing. So the purple push, that's the one thing that I'm gonna change from my labor that I am doing differently this time. Your uterus does 90% of the pushing. Just breathe, let your uterus push that baby. People have had babies in comas before. You do not have to push. It will push. You might have to assist, obviously. It's like a poop. Your body does most of the work. You don't want to strain too much, just kind of like assist. I remember tearing was like my biggest concern. Like I was like, I'm so afraid to tear. And my midwife was like, you're not gonna know. There's like a ring of fire there sometimes. It can like burn as the baby's about to come out. I thought I was gonna feel the tear. No, there's too much going on. You have no idea. Number 6, a pregnancy pillow. Ooh, oh man. I have a whole video. It's a funny video talking about like how your pregnancy pillow is the mistress between you and your husband. It's one of my favorites. It was when I was feeling funny during pregnancy, when I still had like the energy and creativity to be funny. Pregnancy pillows are incredible. We still co-sleep with my first, who's 21 months. So I don't have a pregnancy pillow this time, but oh my gosh, it was so nice to just snuggle up with that thing. It supported your belly, it supported your knees and ankles and head, and it just like gave you this big hug, and your partner's there too, and you're just like, hey. It's nice. Number 7, you want to make sure you stay hydrated. This is going to help with your stretch marks as well, but also it's just going to help with keeping you hydrated because, I don't know, it's always good to stay hydrated. I have a filter on mine so that I always have filtered water. That's something new. I got something called a clearly filtered water pitcher. It filters out like a million things. I am an affiliate with them because I use it every single day. I put it in my humidifier, which I don't know if that's kosher, but I use it for my rice, I use it for my water, I use it for my diffuser, I use it for everything. You can also buy an under the sink filter. You can type in where you live and it tells you what is in your water, and it's insane. Oh, this is 5,000 times more than the legal limit or whatever, the safety limit. You're like, what? Especially then once you're giving your toddler water, you're like, I feel weird about this. Hey Shayla gets you a discount. Number 8 is a meditation app called Headspace. You are going a little bit insane when you're pregnant and then postpartum. Like there's just so much there's hormonal changes, there's life changes, there's identity changes, there's so much going on that if you can just take 10 minutes, and usually your baby will nap for 10 minutes, like it puts your feet back on the ground because you are losing it sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, Seth, I'm gonna go take 10 minutes and meditate. And he's like, okay. Headspace has been the one that I've used because it has different options of like, I need to feel focused, I need to go to sleep. There's a whole pregnancy section. The other thing that I used was Hypno Babies, and I'm about to start that again, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. And say if you wanna meditate for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and it just guides you through the whole thing, and it's like, the days I do it are my best days. Do it. Number 9, I talked to my doctor because anytime I go to the gym. Okay, so I was pregnant right before COVID hit, like hardcore. So my pregnancy was still normal. So I was going to the gym. This pregnancy is still during COVID and I am not doing those things. I found a workout program for pregnancy and postpartum, but it's not just workout, it's pelvic floor work. 2 sisters created it, a nurse and a women's health physical therapist. So it takes you week by week through what you need to do. I thought that the pelvic floor work during pregnancy helped me during my labor. The pelvic floor work afterwards helped to repair. Hey Shayla is the discount on Expecting and Empowered, and I'd highly recommend it. My muscles, and sometimes when I don't go to the gym, they lock up. So I'll like do this and then they'll be like, and she's like, I think you need electrolytes and magnesium. So this is a thing that happens to me during pregnancy. I don't get like the cramping. It's like I'll do this and then it slowly releases. My doctor's like, most people who have these type of things need like the bananas, the potassium. When you're pregnant, you need calcium and electrolytes. So I used to take liquid IV, but it's got a lot of sugar in it. So my midwife was like, So now I'm an ambassador with Noon. There's no sugar in it, but it has the electrolytes. And the magnesium I take at night. It's called Calm. And I just drink that at night. Hemorrhoids are a thing in pregnancy. They come and they go. Witch hazel also helps. Hemorrhoids is also a thing postpartum. That squatty potty is your best friend. Elevating your feet and getting in a squatty potty position, super helpful. Like I said, I use my yoga blocks. I have a whole video on hemorrhoids if you're experiencing them. God bless you, they're horrible. Don't stop taking your stool softeners too soon. Take them like longer than you think you need to. I was like, oh, I'm good. And then I cried when I tried to poop postpartum. Just keep on those for a while. Books. I have been reading, not a lot because I've only gotten through like one book. Tomorrow is my 28-week appointment with my midwife. And it's when you do the glucose test, and I'll be there for like an hour, and I'm like, you know what? Instead of scrolling, I'm gonna bring my book. I want to reread it. It's called Ina May's Guide to Childbirth. If you have any fear around birth and labor, it like really eliminates the fear because it just explains to you how this is like a biological process and why it works and how it works. And it just really made me feel a lot more calm. The whole first part of it is like positive birth stories. I also read some of the good birth stories and then skipped to the meat and potatoes at the end. Super hippie. They birth babies on the farm. I obviously love it. And then hypno babies. Like I said, I'll get into hypno babies when I talk about it. I read the book first before I committed to the course and I was like, okay, I'm on board. Everyone says your labor never goes exactly how it is. Fine. My labor plan is to have a healthy baby. Ideally, in the most hippie way that I can. Number 12, stop Googling things. Don't Google anything. Googling names, Googling food, Googling activities, Googling blah, 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 blah. Especially like medical things because that's when you get yourself in a real tizzy. Instagram is kind of the same where it's just giving you an overload and makes you feel like you're not doing everything that you should for yourself or your baby. Number 13, maternity clothes. I was pretty anti-maternity clothes. I was like, I do not need that. I work from home. Nah. My sister gave me some. What I love about maternity clothes is that they kind of make you look more pregnant. Pulls tight under your belly. The first thing that I did when I got pregnant in my second pregnancy was pull out my maternity clothes because they're way more comfortable than normal clothes. They do make you look more pregnant. Blanqi maternity leggings are literally my favorite. These are old, but they have this super stretchy belly. And then everything else is like really compressing. I really enjoy their leggings a lot. And then Pink Blush is another place that and then just like Target. You don't have to buy a lot. I didn't buy a lot. Number 14, this isn't really a tip, but I haven't done anything. I still haven't done anything. The second time around, you don't need to do as much stuff, but like, I need to get a bassinet or something. A second monitor. I have most of the stuff, but there's a few things that I still need to buy. And I'm always like, what if the baby came tomorrow? And then I'm like, then the baby would come tomorrow and it would be fine. So number 15, they say that second trimester, you're like smooth sailing. And I would have to agree for the most part. I feel pretty energetic. My appetite's good, but I'm hormonal. Everything feels overwhelming. I will be like stressed to the max. And it's kind of delirious stress. It's not like, I feel like it's not real stress. You learn the difference between real stress and hormonal stress in your first pregnancy because you feel actually insane. And then in the second pregnancy, you're like, oh, I recognize this feeling of feeling out of control and like crying and confused and not good. It's just pregnancy. We're gonna get through it. I started working with I had her on a podcast and we went through all my blood results. She does blood work, analyzes it, and then gives you natural options to fix the things that you need to work on. It has been a godsend. I think that's why this pregnancy has been a little bit more chilled. Don't get me wrong. I have still been very hormonal. Most of the time it correlates to the amount of sleep that I've had. There's still crazy, crazy days. If you're interested in that, I'll link that below too. Steph is like, okay, let me help you. What do we need to do? And I can come up with like 2 things. Well, I need screws and I'm really hungry. Okay. Well, let's get you some food and then we can go get some screws. It just seems so easy. Number 16, kicking starts to happen. My placenta's on the front
So I guess it takes longer for that reason. So I feel a lot of kicking on the sides and on the bottom.
Even this pregnancy, like some people are like, oh my gosh, I feel kicking at 14 weeks. I'm like, it's an anterior placenta again, so it's on the front of my belly, which I guess makes it harder to feel kicking. But like, it was not, even at 20 weeks, I was like, I'm still not really feeling a lot of kicking. Like I would occasionally, and now I'm at 28 weeks, and they're kicking at night mostly, but Aaliyah was active. With my first pregnancy, that baby was moving. This baby is just kind of like chilling, and I'm hoping that means they've got a chill demeanor and they're gonna be chill.
Number 17. When we first found out that I was pregnant, I was on the baby app like every day. Reread things and look at things. Are you kidding me? This big, I can't believe it. Now, baby is like a foot long. I don't know what that is in metric, but it feels like a lot. So that's very strange for me. But now I'm barely checking the app. Oh yeah, it's 24 weeks. That's so cool. But there is a YouTube channel that I love. I will link them.
Yeah, second pregnancy. I check it once a week when it switches. I loved the Channel Mom YouTube videos. But there are two apps that I love. One is The Bump. It's great. That's my favorite one. The other one is Ovia, O-V-I-A, and that has like a food checker and a medication checker, so you can go in there and enter something in and it'll tell you how safe it is. Those are the two that I'd recommend. I literally had like 6 apps at the time. I was looking for an app from New Zealand. I was looking for like a Japanese app. I wanted to see how different people talked about the process of pregnancy.
Oh, I wrote this twice. So number 18 is everything feels overwhelming.
Feels a little less overwhelming the second time.
Number 19, don't ask for advice. I come up with a name and then I ask my family or my friends. Half of them are like, I love it. The other half are like, it reminds me of this. Seth and I are having a hard enough time agreeing on a name on our own.
So we had a name for my first, and I wish that we had had like 3 when we had gone to the hospital so that we could then see the baby and be like, you are not an Aaliyah, you are a blah, blah, blah. It took me a while to get used to Aaliyah's name, but I love it now. But now this time, I'm dead set on a name, and I'm like, I don't know, I can't think of anything else. And Seth is like, didn't you want to go with like 3 names? And I was like, yeah, but there's an app called Baby Name, and it's Tinder for baby names. So you each sign up, you swipe left, swipe right. When you match, it goes into a little list that you guys get to keep together. It's kind of a fun way to do it. Fun fact, my due date is a week before daughter's 2nd birthday. So they're gonna be almost exactly 2 years apart depending on when this baby's actually born.
Bump date, let me show you. I've got this, it's called a bee belly, where it bumps out on top and bumps out on bottom. That's what's been happening.
So I'm 24 to 25 weeks there. I'm 28 weeks now.
If you're in your 2nd trimester, congratulations. I hope some of this information was helpful for you.
I love that this girl in the video, me, actually had time to like curl her hair and try and be cute. I gave that up when AJ was born. So thanks for being here. Please share with anyone in their 2nd trimester. And I'll see you guys next time. Or if you want to check out Instagram, I'm always there. Bye.